We are in the SummerSlam aftermath, but lucky for us, Raw was the best it's been in a very long time last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. They progressed storylines. We got new challengers. We got new people stepping up in the main event scene. We got some returns. So a lot to talk about. Hit that subscribe button. Spandex Standups. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Feeling good. Monday Night Raw was great. SummerSlam was 2 nights. So, we're
The tale of two
yeah,
nights.
yeah, man, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I enjoyed SummerSlam. I agree with you. Night two, way better. They're getting in that flow of things where night one is, and then they give us night two. So no qualms. They didn't add to deathus. Like WrestleMania had a few back stage segments. That's all I want. And minus setting my man Danhausen up for failure by doing what they're doing with him. I enjoyed everything.
That's what I love to hear. Yeah, it was good PLE. I think it had a lot of good stuff. Matches were good. No botches as far as we could really tell for the most part. Yeah, great
My
show.
my only gripe is it was a little predictable. You knew who was going to
Yeah.
win most of the matches. The Baron Corbin swerve was nice. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
But I do feel like that's just going to catapult Trick into bigger and better things. So I'm excited about that. Even though the Gable win was predictable, it was enjoyable. So there was a lot of
Yep.
really cool moments from both nights. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. It's looking like they gave us a little Braun Breaker Obafemi teaser last night, and they made Braun Breaker look like a monster again.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's taking a bit of a back seat, and so they got to push him forward again. We saw on the show Unreal that they didn't want to pull the trigger on him for WrestleMania. They thought it would be too soon, and maybe they're right. Maybe they were right. Maybe it is best that they waited a year, and now we're going to get a more intense, a hungrier, you know, Braun Breaker.
It was so
Um,
cool him staring at the entranceway. Just like, I'm not worried about this idiot behind me. I'm worried about the guy I just got in the face of.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with this Brock Lesnar Obafemi rub, and how that impacts all of Oba's opponents moving forward.
Fair enough. Like the way that they teased things on Raw last night is like, this feels no offense to Money in the Bank, but I was like, are they building to a much bigger pay-per-view? Nope, it's Money in the Bank. Okay, so we're about
Yep.
to, if things come to fruition, man, we're about to have a banger of Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But my gripe with the Obafemi Brock Lesnar rub of it all was that shouldn't have been a Hell in a Cell match. It could have easily just been a regular match that they ripped up the canvas and messed with the boards, done some stuff on like a table outside. But like, it should have just been no DQ. You know what I mean? Like, no reason to have the cage around them.
No, I mean they didn't utilize it, but this is what we talked about earlier last week. Which is that the Hell in a Cell match has kind of lost the thing that they do in it.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we almost killed Mick Foley, but they pulled back too much.
Hmm.
Still want to see some blood and carnage. And I'm not a blood and carnage
Yeah.
guy. But if you're going to do Hell in a Cell, that implies blood and carnage.
Yes, it does.
Not just taking a bump, taking a tombstone on the wood, which was cool. But that was the most violent thing they did.
Yeah.
Super interesting Braun Breaker Heyman interaction.
Yeah, it seems like
What do you
there's
think of that?
tension.
Yeah.
There's tension. There's bad blood. Braun Breaker does not trust Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman cannot be trusted. So I don't know that Paul Heyman is in cahoots with Obafemi the way Braun Breaker believes, but I think Braun Breaker has every reason to suspect that Paul Heyman's up to some shady stuff, because ever since he's been with the Vision, he's been a little shady. He turned on Seth Rollins, and then if you'll recall, there was that week where, he just wasn't being cool to the Vision. He was being a little snooty. It's almost like, Paul Heyman doesn't want to be there anymore. So Braun Breaker's probably picking up on that, and it's like, hey, there's no room for anyone here that doesn't want to be here.
Yeah, I loved that shot. But like, he's your new best friend. Where is he?
Yeah,
because I wanted that last week. I wanted Heyman to turn on Brock in a weird capacity and go with Oba. I think Oba and Heyman could make magic, but Oba also is a great talker, so let him keep doing it on the mic. But a nice little layer there they added in with Paul Heyman of it all. Now that Braun is officially retired and moved over to the alumni section again. Interesting to see what Paul Heyman does going forward.
Yeah.
Well, your girl, she retained, but now she got a whole new slew of problems to worry about. I enjoyed that segment on Raw last night. She had a win over Io Sky at SummerSlam, which Io's my heart. I want her back in the title scene as fast as possible, but I'm content with this trio moving forward. Stephanie Vaquer returning, Becky Lynch returning in the main event scene as like a good and bad guy in the middle of these two. So I enjoyed it. What did you think of the segment?
Oh, it was great. Great to see Becky back. Great to see Liv as champion again. Great to see Stephanie Vaquer back. Becky was great. It's clear that Becky's coming back as a babyface or something along those lines. And
like
I love the line of
no nonsense babyface. The man's back, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, and just some of the disses Becky was dishing out were just great. It was fantastic. So I don't think we've gotten Liv versus Becky yet, but that's something I think we need.
Definitely, we definitely need that. I'm hyped. I think these three could put on a ridiculous match.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they wait their turn and we get a bunch of singles matches out of this. Anyway, I'm finally excited about the Raw women's main event scene.
Let's go.
How'd you feel about our boy Aldis at against Gunther?
He had a good match. Man, he looks good. He had a good match. I don't know if this was his retirement match or something. I'm still trying to figure out the whole why they brought him here and haven't had him wrestle, and it's just kind of had him in a GM role. I mean, he's great. He's great in it. He looks great. He's got a great accent. We love it. I thought it was a good match. Gunther's looking a little scrawny or something. He's just not looking his normal self. Yeah, he's not looking his normal self. So, I thought it was a good match. It was entertaining. It was one of the matches I was really looking forward to.
Yeah, and he delivered. I enjoyed the whole presentation. We got Nick Aldis. He had great ring attire, great intro. Shook off a little rust. Let us know he could still go in the ring. It was fantastic. But yeah, they gotta do a little something to build Gunther back up a little bit. Because he got inserted into night 2, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But let's just say night 1 was the highlight of SummerSlam for old Gunther. How you feeling about the Bellas turning on Paige at SummerSlam?
I'm tired of the Bellas,
but I'm bummed that Breeze hurt her shoulder. So now Nikki came back. Now Breeze on the shelf.
Yeah, I think they're cursed. They shouldn't have come back. Something about this stinks. The women's division is on fire right now, and part of me is like, are they coming back, and are they doing good by the women's division? Are they just running on nostalgia? When you're a Hall of Famer coming back, you gotta, So I don't know. I hope this leads to a good one-on-one match for Paige. I think that's what we want to see. Her and tag team. It's like, okay, but no, we thought Paige was a main eventer. We thought she was an amazing wrestler. So, this definitely needs to be the beginning of Paige starting her main event run here afterwards.
I agree with you because you could just tell from the ring work between Fatal Influence, the new generation, and what the Bellas were bringing. Like the Fatal Influence made it look so good, They made it look like they were delving out punishment. I mean, I guess to an extent, they broke Bree's scapula, but you believed them. Like, you could tell the generational gap between these two factions in the ring, and I'm glad they gave the win to Fatal Influence. That would have been a travesty to watch that as a fan. The I don't want to say talent gap, but just the ability, the in-ring ability, and that's, it's the tale of their generations. You know what I mean? The Bellas are good for when that their time, but this new generation is something else. And Fatal Influence put that on shine. And I'm glad they got the win. And like you said, I hope this catapults Page into other things. Like I said last week, I need that Page Rhea match.
Yep. Be huge.
He came back. And he cost Cody Rhodes the match.
RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to see RKO back. Randy Keith Orton. If y'all haven't watched our Life and Times Up, I'll be interested to see what he does coming back. I think a lot of people thought we were going to get a Cody heel turn, but I love how they just delay and they delay and they delay. And it's like, are you going to get this thing? Yeah, maybe in a year and a half, but we're going to find things to delay that for as long as possible. I'd be curious to see what happens here.
Yeah.
With Randy,
with
Kevin Owen back.
Yes. I'm glad they're going in different directions with Cody and Punk, like revisit that again at some point. But like, I hope we finally get that Randy Cody feud that we desperately want. I want this to be personal.
Yeah.
I want just attacks on attacks. No one's safe when Randy's around, like.
Yeah, this has to turn Cody to a heel.
That's what I'm saying. Randy always gets that little bit more out of Cody, So I want a proper feud from these two for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
So how you feeling about, CM Punk getting the win over Cody on night 2? So CM Punk is the face of SmackDown heading forward, but he's got KO on the heels. KO returns with that number one contender match.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Again, they just can't keep, again, now it's KO and LA Knight who are owed titles at some point. I know KO got a title run back in, whenever Goldberg was around stealing title shots from people, but
we're not. Yeah,
it's KO's turn, so they're gonna have to figure something out here to get a belt on KO.
For sure. I'm glad he won that match, but I don't want it to be preemptive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him just to lose to CM Punk.
Yeah, right.
But man, when that music hit, I marked out. Not gonna lie to you.
It's huge. It's huge. It was great the way they played that. And yeah, we should always expect on these 2-night pay-per-views something big happens at the beginning of night 2.
Got to get you hooked. Got to stick around. But dude, I'm already salivating at Punk and KO on the mic.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so good. I need it. I need it in my veins. Corbin, your new U.S. title holder. I'm okay with it because I heard rumblings that Trick Willie is already in that top spot for Money in the Bank, which would be dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Baron Corbin a chance. Welcome back, Baron Corbin, to New Day. Let's see what happens. But I'm gonna give him a chance. Yeah.
That's all he's asking for.
This only means good things for Trick Williams. It'd be interesting to see if Baron Corbin joins the Vision. His ties to Braun Breaker.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. When you first said that, I was like, why would he do that? But I love that. I wish that tag team would have stuck around.
That could be something cool, but I just hope he doesn't go the route of Rusev.
Right.
He's
already got a title, so that's got to be a good sign.
He may, yeah. But welcome back, Baron Corbin.
I'm okay if they give Baron Corbin a chance and let him run with it. I'm also okay if he's a transitional champion to Carmelo Hayes. Either of those things are okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of returns, Big Cass coming back. How you feel? I personally am very upset and appalled, really, that Enzo did not come back with him. But they're going the Big Cass, the big Bill monster heel route. So I'll keep an open mind.
Again, we'll see. I put him in the same bucket I put a Rusev. The same bucket. You know that it's we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Um, I was never the biggest fan of Big Cass. I loved me some Enzo Amore.
That's what I'm saying. I
I
need that
did.
package deal.
I liked his promo. It was very in control and very, very intense. And so I'm hoping that can translate in his in-ring work. But again, Triple H is signing these mid-carders from back in the day, bringing them in, saying, "Ooh, Baron Corbin, ooh, Rusev, ooh, who are we talking about right now?
Big Cass.
Big Cass. See, he's doing it with so many people, I can't even keep up."
Yeah.
And it's
hard to
like these
miss
are
on a
people
few
that
people.
never ever excited us. Yet you're bringing them back. I mean, I kind of get why. I mean, they understand WWE style of wrestling. They get the system. They have history and the stories. But
A trademark name already.
yeah, But again, it's like I think we're going back to the days of it just feels like that they're getting people to fill roles. As opposed to like let's again, it's like we're bringing back Big Cass, but we let the New Day go.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that that's just kind of like, oh, but they're like, yeah, but we need big villains. Okay, all right, well, but you
Are we
also need
almost
good
getting
stories.
Are we almost getting back to the territory days where they bring in a heel for like a little cycle and then they let him move on?
Exactly.
Yeah,
But you need good stories at the end of the day. So,
you do.
you can do these one-dimensional things, but it's all about the stories.
Well, they sold us a good one. The IC title, Gable winning in his hometown, got the new music, got the clap, got. I mean, he claps with the fans. I don't. My wording there was pretty bad, but
I
I mean,
love me
got his
some Chad
family in there.
Gable.
It was good, man. How did you enjoy the win at SummerSlam?
I enjoyed Chad Gable's win at SummerSlam. I'm glad it happened. Again, Chad Gable's been through it. It's his first singles championship in WWE. It's huge. Great to see the respect from Penta. Calling him a luchador. This fully puts Chad Gable on the side of the baby face. And I'm excited to be IC champion. He's exactly the kind of person you want to be IC champion.
Yes. I hope he's going to be a workhorse champion. Like when he came to the ring
Mm-hmm.
with his gear last night, I was like, here we go. He's fighting. Let's go. And I enjoyed that tag match. That was fantastic. I wouldn't mind Dom being back in the IC title picture with Gable for a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Those would be some good matches.
I think Dragon Lee can put on some bangers with him. Javon Evans getting a little more serious side to him. I like it. The IC
Mm-hmm.
title picture in good hands. The new Raw 6. Go check out our clip on our YouTube page where I make the case that we got a new Raw 6 as opposed to the old SmackDown 6. So I thought this was pretty cool. The match was what it was. The human money is on a pole, but comedian Brad Williams got to be one of the mini Housens.
That's very fun. Good for
He,
him.
he
That's
lobbied
great.
for it and it happened.
I didn't realize that happened, but shout out Brad Williams. Live your
That's got to
dream, my
be
guy.
that was a big driving force. We go in waves as comedians. We get in it for the love of the art form or whatever nonsense we tell ourselves. And then there's a strong part of a big window where we're like, get some success. And we're like, I kind of want to be famous. And I always had that in the back of my head is I wanted to be famous enough to be able to call up WWE and be like, hey, I want to be a part of something,
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome, man. I love that he got to don the makeup. They didn't make a big deal about it. You know, he's just a mini housing, and he got to live his adventure. So that's awesome.
It's many housing dreams.
Mini housing dreams. But yeah, I hope Dom, even though he took the L, I hope he gets back in the IC scene after this.
Yeah.
Bro, to be honest with you, the highlight of SummerSlam for me might have been your new women's WWE interim champion, Chelsea Green.
Oh, I thought they're calling her an interim champion. They don't do that with anyone else. They've never done that when Seth had to relinquish, or
Michael
they
Hayes
never
is
called that person the interim champion. But I love it being called love her being called the interim champion. I think it's great, and I'm glad she's champion. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. This is exciting. Very excited to see what promos are cut, where this leads. But
You know she's
man,
gonna have a big celebration on Friday on SmackDown that's gonna be interrupted by somebody.
mm-hmm,
I'm calling JC Jane, and we'll go from.
mm-hmm.
But I just hope they don't just feed her to Rhea when Rhea comes back. I hope we have a fun solution to this, because just looking at this picture in front of us, man, I love seeing her with the gold.
Yeah, it's great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very fun. We loved it. We loved the way that it happened. Again, I want to talk about some of this no selling that's going on. She's on the ladder, then all of a sudden she's up, and there's just like, there's no struggle to get to the top of the ladder. Come on, guys.
She had to do a full sit up though. I will give her that. I do
That's
not
true.
have that core. I will give her that. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed the ladder match. I love a ladder match. You know, it's like
Yeah,
pizza. Even bad ladder matches are great ladder matches to me. You
of
know, I
course we
love a
love
ladder
ladder
match.
match.
Everyone got some offense in. I thought Lash looked pretty good. Of course, Charlotte is going to shine whenever she gets a chance to shine. You know, Tiffy had some time. That was good. And Jade, you know, was the power in there, her and Lash. I enjoyed the Lash Jade face off. That was fun. But
Mm-hmm.
the right call was Chelsea getting this win right now.
Absolutely. Right champion, right time.
It was our main event of SummerSlam, and that dictated a lot of what happened on Raw last night. LA Knight up next. Roman, of course, getting the big win over his buddy, Seth Rollins. Where are you on the side of the coin? A lot of people on the internet are very divided on. Some people said that it was a love letter to wrestling. Some people said they used the Shield stuff too much. How'd you feel about the Seth Roman main event?
You know, they're definitely taking a playbook out of the John Cena, AJ Styles, type of let's do this one last match. Let's have a lot of storytelling. Let's make it symbolic. I mean, this is just where we're at now with WWE, and these things are going to be on the nose. The moment that Seth was Cody's Shield, they have decided to be on the nose with all of this stuff. So I thought it was nice. I thought it was a nice little send off. We don't really know where the Shield story comes back into play at all. It feels like it's over. Um, I was okay with it. I
I
was
enjoyed
okay
it.
with it.
I thought it was a great match. Like I said, my only problem with any 30-minute main events nowadays is just how many times you kick out of finishers. Like, I just wish they'd cut that down a little bit. I wish people would use their secondary finisher a little bit more, and you have people kick out of that, you know, like. But
Mm-hmm.
like, there's no reason Obafemi takes 7 F5s to lose. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to do, but like, how many times can Roman get curb stomped? You know, from the second
Right.
rope and all that. So I enjoyed the match. That was my only qualm, is the finishers mean nothing. But, you know, I've been talking that to death for a while now. But I'm excited. LA Knight's in the main event scene. Like I said at the beginning, this Money in the Bank card looks like it is going to be ridiculous if they pull the trigger on a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff they're teasing. But I just don't want LA Knight to be in the main event just for being in the sake of the main event.
Absolutely. Put a title on him. If
Put
now's not the right time, then don't even use him.
I'm going to be heartbroken if our next 2 matches are Roman versus LA Knight and CM Punk versus Kevin Owens, and Punk and Roman are the champions after that. You know?
Can't happen. Can't happen.
If you had to make a deal with Triple H that one of them got the belt. Would you rather LA Knight get the belt or would you rather Kevin Owens get the belt?
KO.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, man. LA Knight's done so much. He deserves it.
And KO has had a WWE title run before. So, maybe it'd be LA Knight. I just think right now, first from a storyline perspective, I mean, they're both great, and I think LA Knight on the mic, him kind of in defensive mode. I got the title, everyone's on me. That's a good LA Knight.
I think that's fun into the fall. Roman ain't going to keep this full-time schedule for much longer.
No.
So I think having him have the belt from WrestleMania to Survivor Series, like let him beat LA at Money in the Bank, and then LA get his crowning moment at Survivor Series.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
I'd be good with that.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
And Roman still has a decent run. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people would kill for a Mania to Survivor Series run with the belt. Sami Zayn would kill for the Mania to Survivor Series. Where does that guy go now?
I mean, they still have a Saudi Arabia WrestleMania, so he just needs to hang tight.
Fair enough.
He just got to hang tight.
Well, any parting thoughts after a pretty good SummerSlam and a very above average Raw to kick off the second half of the year for WWE?
Yeah, let's just start really pushing our main card. We got Money in the Bank coming up. Let's make it stacked. All 12 participants in the men's and women's. Let's make them count.
You got so many people.
Really count.
You got so many people at your disposal, man. Like, I saw a rendering. I don't even remember who was in it, but I remember being like, man, like, I want Penta in that ladder match. I want Trick in that ladder match. I want Dom in that ladder match. Braun, Breaker.
Chupon. And then you still got all the, the old heads. Yeah, it's going to be good.
You got a crowded main event scene, so that always makes for elevated matches like this, Like, you can't rule out like a Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton in the ladder match. But that means is we probably got some qualifying matches coming up soon, and your boy loves some qualifying matches. Fresh matchups, fun takes, weird finishes. I love a qualifying match. Well, Evan, thank you so much for joining me. Guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for recounting SummerSlam, figuring out where the Federation heads next. Either way, we're on board and we're watching, and we're going to be here every week talking about it. So go ahead and do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button. That way you get all that fresh content delivered right to you. We're the Spandex Standups. We'll see you next time.